now I want to look at this in terms of making a conclusion. We looked at the distribution of the sandwich between 4 different groups, and at no point do we see that it was fairly distributed. Because each group had a different number of students and a different number of subs, when we did our comparisons, some groups got more than others. Okay? The only way to truly decide if this could be done fairly would be to compare the total number of subs to the total number of people. So let's imagine for a second that none of these groups got separated and that we have a class of 22 students in total. And those students need to share 17 subs. Okay, so I'm going to do the same idea here I did before. I'm going to take 17 because that's the number of subs, and I'm going to multiply that by the number of inches in one sub, which is 12. Okay, so I'm trying to figure out the total number of sandwich available. 17 times 12 equals 204 inches. All right, so I have 204 inches of sub in total that I now need to divide by the number of people. So I take 204 inches and I divide that by now 22 students. Let's see what kind of an answer we get here. 204 divided by 22, 9.3. Okay, I'm rounding. Obviously, this 7 causes me to round the 2 up to a 3. 1 decimal place is enough. So each student, if the whole class received equal distribution, each student should have gotten 9.3 inches per person. Okay, so if we go back and we look at the different groups, the first group got less than 9.3. Okay, so that means they're below the amount that an equal distribution should have given them. Group 2 got slightly above. Okay, not the end of the world, but somebody could complain about that. Group 3 got well above, and group 4 is well below. Okay, so that we know for sure this was not distributed equally. 9.3 inches of sub were available per person if they were in a total group. Okay, so if the students all got back on the bus after the trip and compared their sandwich sizes, obviously there would be some discrepancies and maybe some arguments. Okay, so those are just a couple of different ways you could solve this problem. None of them are exactly the right way to do it. You can tell from our discussion in class, people had different strategies, right? So, for example, Music Here's plan was pretty awesome. He just looked at the subs and said, okay, we got 4 people, right? And what we're going to do is just cut each sandwich in half and give one of these to each person. 3, 4. So each person gets that. Now we've got 1 sandwich left to divide among 4 people. Well, just break that up into 4 equal parts and send it out, right? 1, 2, 3, 4. And that would be the easiest way to share that out. Okay, so just again, there's so many different ways you can approach a problem like this. The bottom line is that it wasn't fair that we established.